We're starting now. Everybody, welcome to another episode of No Accounting for Taste, the podcast that is financially ruining itself at a greater rate than True Social. That's right.
That's a feat.
Yeah, that is a feat. Also, I was thinking, man, we really should have maybe started some kind of a GoFundMe where our fans each contributed $5 and we just shorted a bunch of True Social stock.
Like, would have lost.
That would have been a way. That would have been a way to reward them for sticking with us through all of this bullshit.
Do you know what any of that means?
To short something?
Yeah.
If you're short a contract is short, it's like you're buying basically an insurance policy that this is going to fail.
Oh, okay.
Is the concept of it, and then they will try and people who are losing money on investing in the stock will then be it will elevate the value of your short if something is falling, and then you can sell it at so if it's worth $100, you might be able to sell it for $75 and make a profit if you bought it for $5. You see?
I think so, and thank you, because that was one of the most simple. I've read about this and tried to sort it out. My comprehension when it comes to anything mathematic doesn't work, and that was a straightforward explanation, and thank you.
Yeah, you just need another idiot to explain it to you. Sometimes they're too smart for both.
I can't believe we're not both billionaires.
That's right. Well, everyone, speaking of billionaires, this week we're talking about the one, the only, the motherfucker Zuckerberg, baby. Yeah, that's right. The guy who started it all. Well, I guess he didn't start it all.
He did something.
He seems to be the one who's winning. Mark Zuckerberg, a billionaire tech philanthropist who now thinks he's a cage fighter and is also about Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. This guy's got a pretty good portfolio.
Yeah, I was trying to make the little post on Instagram for this. Instagram, when you're making a story and you're typing things using the text, it will not spell check, but it'll autofill Zuckerberg for you.
It sure shit will.
It'll make sure Zuckerberg's spelled correctly. It won't give you. And when you're writing a message or something, it has autocorrect. But in the stories, I was trying to do text, and I was wasn't paying attention. It was all misspelled. But I noticed Zuckerberg was easily being filled in. It was being auto-populated. Yeah. Which seems sinister, but also if you ran a whole business and it was with you, well, they're going to at least spell my name right.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least spell my name right.
That's why spell check exists. Because that guy at Microsoft's name kept getting misspelled as cunt.
What?
Steve Jobs? Oh, no, that's Apple.
That's Apple.
Old fucking Steve Cunt Jobs.
No, so they...
Sometimes getting laid's a lot of work, you know?
It used to be just common words or something, and they didn't filter out any curse words or anything, and so somebody's name kept getting changed into a cuss word, and so then they were like, let's shore this up.
Let's go ahead and do the whole language. Let's do all of it. All right.
Let's do some predictive text.
Well, the Zuckerberg's got it. Well,
you know what is weird about Zuckerberg? I don't
everything.
Have a personal. He has affected at least 4 billion people's lives personally every day.
Yeah.
Because it's that's more than Christ. Isn't it weird? Most of the people on Earth have a personal experience.
Good morning, Christ.
I just say when it comes sometimes when we have this our personal experience segment of this podcast, you and I are I don't know, cheese pizza, I love it, and then we don't have anything to say. But really, Zuckerberg has a personal experience with a lot of people to some degree, although it is kind of omnipresent. Yeah. So I guess we all have personal experience with Zuckerberg, And mine is that I think I'm in algorithm hell because I can't get any goddamn views. So why don't we fix it, Mark?
I think
Help your boy out.
algorithm is. I think it is the beginning of hell. I think Zuckerberg is. He has changed the landscape of human communication, which is wild. I mean, I saw the movie. Depending on how much you want to believe in the movie, that he just created Facebook out of spite, or how to like meet chicks. You do have to think of just the one invention you had when you were 19.
The reverse microwave.
This fucking reverse microwave.
First of all, you both said it. I didn't say it.
Shane said it. Shane said it, and then it upset me to remember it.
Yeah. Also, I think Facebook and Instagram probably upset you as well. I'm like Mark Zuckerberg. Drink it up. Okay. I'm a cage-fighting Jewish billionaire.
Thank God your hotel roommate left for you in time to record this podcast.
Cool lights, Kyle. Tell me how it's all coming together.
I'm saying, like, what if you created something when you're 19, but then it did take on this life of its own, and then he's still like, how has he had to grow as a human being? Like he's only grown as being this this speaks for any of these young tech, like, you're smart in this way. It doesn't mean you're smart in these other ways, in like, social aspects or worldly, like.
No, I agree with you. I also think it's one of these things, like, he became so famous and so successful at such an early age. He might be like a young child star, and that he is stunted.
You're like an athlete
in
or
that
something.
Place. Yeah, like they're just where they are. But you don't think, like, when Gutenberg invented like the printing press, people were as angry at him as they get at Mark Zuckerberg?
I mean, he made all those Police Academy movies inventing that too. So he was multifaceted. Nothing? All right. Whatever.
Yeah, no.
But it's a comedic dead zone with you guys. I ain't get nothing. Gutenberg reference.
It wasn't. I fucked that up. I don't. Who was it? What was Gutenberg's first name? What was Gutenberg's first name? That invented the printing press?
Steve. There's only one Gutenberg in my book, baby. And him and a couple other dudes help raise that baby.
He was in a. I was watching.
Ted Danson, and who was the third guy? I don't remember.
Yeah, no one does. I was watching the Macy's Day Parade was on. I guess it was Thanksgiving, obviously, and he was in a play on Broadway called Relatively Speaking, right?
Okay.
And have I told you the story before?
No.
Because it just said, and the scroll on the bottom said, Steve Gutenberg, actor, relatively speaking. It was like one of those ones that I was like, this is great. Like I don't know what else happened actually I do know what else happened that Thanksgiving. It was one of my best Thanksgivings ever, but that really started me on a good note.
Kicked it off. You're already watching the parade. You get a little Easter egg like that.
Got a little tech gaff. Yeah.
Anyway, Steve Gutenberg invented the Bible printing press.
Johannes
Gutenberg. Johannes. Fucking Johannes. My Hannes, Johannes.
The Gutenberg I know is Steve. That feels like a Mess Syndicate t-shirt. Like there's a picture of a printing press that says the Gutenberg I know is Steve.
There's only one Gutenberg in my life, and he played Mahoney.
Oh man. Isn't it weird to think we have worked with 2 members of the Police Academy franchise?
Yeah.
Did you work? Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
considering how big those movies were.
Kazurinsky and Bobcat were on the Thanksgiving shows. Who else? Who
Yeah,
else?
oh, and I worked with Michael
Winslow.
Michael Winslow.
David,
yeah.
have you worked with David Spade at all?
Yeah.
I believe
I did.
He might have been in Citizens on Patrol.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the Reno 911 Miami of its.
We're not talking about Police Academy. We're talking about something as equally influential of the last 50 years. Facebook.
You got to listen to this podcast. What are they talking about? Well, this week the subject was Zuckerberg. The first 20 minutes were the Police Academy.
I started getting into it over which Gutenberg invented. The printing press. In between trying to chase all that trim while becoming a cop.
It was Steve Gutenberg, and then Michael Winslow was like, no, it should make noises like a book, a book, a book.
How was he like?
What that wait? What is the
book?
That's what the printing press sounds like. That's how they came up with the name Book. That's how they decided to call them books. It's because that's what it sounds like.
Oh my god!
Just it's over.
Actually, it's a Facebook.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! There's never been a better podcast.
When I opened for Winslow at Helium in Portland, I walked back, and every time I walked back into the green room, he was just listening to the new Van Halen album on his phone aloud, like no, like the way an asshole on the bus listens to music.
Wow. Which new Van Halen album?
I mean, this was like 12 years ago, probably. You know what I mean? Like, it was like when I was like still in Portland, but he was nice. It was real weird.
Was he trying to match the?
When I was on the drum line in college, we competed in indoor drum line. We were first in the nation, by the way, but
indoor drum line.
Well, you have to do something when it's basketball season. So, part of the routine, we did the cymbal. I was on the cymbal line, and we did a dance routine.
Oh, the cymbal
and it
line.
was to a Van Halen song.
Which one?
What was the song?
Oh man, it was that. Like, I can almost get it in my head. It was kind of slower. Hold on, let me.
Eruption?
No.
Panama.
No. New Van Halen.
Van Hagar or
like that
Daily
first
Roth.
big song that came out after it was Sammy Hagar, I think.
Is that Jump?
After it was Sammy Hagar, that would be on OU812, I believe.
Oh,
Or 5150. 5150, I think, was the first Hagar album.
Charlene, can I ask, do you remember the choreography from this cymbal?
Oh, yeah. I
And will you please do it right now for our listeners? We need the video pop. Stand up. Stand up. Charlie. Cymbal crash. Cymbal crash.
She's underneath all her equipment.
No, I'm the one that gets lifted.
What? Are you're holding cymbals and they lift you up in the air?
Somewhere I within the past like 5 years I found the video of it. I don't know where. On Facebook. I found the video on Facebook.
We're back.
We're back.
Nice. And if you want to see this video, you can't, because Charlene's pulled it down and it's on our Patreon, but it is available there for $5.
I'll try to find it again.
Facebook will not let you live down your childhood.
Facebook will not let you live either. All right. Facebook.
Lift up
Let's see.
with cymbals. The big ones?
What is
crashes? Crashes?
Oh, are you doing like little fingy
Or
monkey?
tippa-doos.
Not
The little
Chicharrones.
Moroccan,
They're
Maraca
called-
symbols.
Clippy
called-
claps.
they're called finger cymbals.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. How'd they come up with that
I
name?
don't know.
Jackass.
And you don't play them like this, by the way.
Oh, how do you play them?
them like this.
Do you play them elevated above someone's head?
Ding, ding, ding.
Were you playing finger symbols?
No, but I know how to play finger symbols.
Who doesn't know how to play fucking finger symbols?
You guys, because you're going
What?
Like castanets.
Also, by the way, can we talk about how indoor drumline is such a bullshit thing
glue
to
them
say?
to a handless person. They could play finger symbols.
I'm sure they could see your finger symbols from the nosebleeds in the basketball arena you were performing at.
That is
Give
in fact
shout-
Is that why they had to lift you up? Is that why they had to lift you up? Like, see, I got stuff.
Mom, don't come in the bathroom. I'm practicing my finger symbols.
We are talking about Facebook.
Sure.
We're talking about Mark Zuckerberg. Everybody, this is No Accounting for Taste. I don't want to jinx it, but I think, again, this was the best intro we've ever had. We're going to be right back after this word from our sponsor. Hey, we don't have one this week. Big shocker.
Hal, you're good with words. You know that, man?
I think the gym is dumb.
Did Rachel walk in the room? Of course I've eaten a Baconator.
Man, if you ain't doing CrossFit, you can get cross-buff.
You're right. A long burger's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
That's your sitcom right there as a Mr. Fix-It-All who just can't fix his heart.
We will not be defending Atlantic City.
No accounting for taste. If it's something that somebody loves, let's try and celebrate it instead of shitting on it.
And here we are again, back. It's the No Accounting for Taste kitty cats. And we're talking about the motherfucker Zuckerberg. Now, Kyle, Charlene, was there any research this week? I didn't see it, if there was.
Yes.
Don't make that face.
Why did
Finger
I even
symbols.
do it?
So Kyle could read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed it. I read it
He has a lot.
60% of the time.
Did we talk about what's personal experience? We know it's trash. Mine is run by management. I don't have access to my own Facebook or Twitter anymore. Because it was making me miserable, and I handed over the passwords
That's
to my
smart.
management because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is wasting my time. Instagram is starting to get there. Reddit's garbage, but I'm still on there. But Facebook, I remember being Hari Kondabolu is the one who told me I should be on Facebook because I had MySpace, and he was visiting LA. It was 2007. We had done the Aspen Comedy Festival together. I'm like, oh, what's that thing you're on? He's like, oh, it's Facebook. I'm like, I just use MySpace. He's like, no, Facebook's where it's at right now. And that was 2007. So.
And it was for a while.
I remember the days. Yeah, I remember MySpace being the shit, and Dane Cook having 1 million followers was mind-blowing, and it was generally harmless. And Facebook was kind of that way starting out. It just didn't look as childish when you were using it, which I think was appealing.
Yeah. And then it's very weird because we kind of grew up with social media. Like, we were the first generation to have it in our, like, teens, I guess, probably.
Well, I was
Would you say that?
No, I was in my 20s, so I think
Well,
all that shit didn't start.
Oh, yeah, I probably was too. I remember I was working at the TGI Fridays in Washington Square in Oregon, and my friend Lisa she goes, oh, are you on my Facebook? And I go, no, and I kind of say, I was like, oh, MySpace. She goes, you should get on Facebook. MySpace is like the bad mall.
Not a wrong assessment.
No, it wasn't. But I guess I kind of think about it like Facebook. I guess it's just this thing that has taken up so much time in my life, and I'm saying all Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and I hired someone to start doing all that stuff for me socially too.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to not have to do near as much with it.
It's hard to think about like existing without it now. I mean, I do feel I get it, old man shit, but I do feel very grateful that I didn't grow up like high school with it. I'm glad, but it does seem so integral to I mean, especially like I would look at somebody without social media as like their circle being small. Like, well, how do you find out about what to do? How do you like? Oh, the same way you did before. You get a newspaper. You look at what's happening in town that week. You go and talk to people at the shared interest you have with them, and you meet people, and that's okay. that's a viable way to communicate with society, and we've lost it. And I think that's kind of the problem. Is that I think that is part of the division. Is everybody has loud opinions online, but in person you wouldn't be that kind of dickhead. Some people would, but
no, yeah. I also wonder, like, because we all work in a public consumption forum, Charlene, you too, to some degree, like how much of it, how much greater is our use of it than Joe, like, Bobby who works at the car dealership, or whatever, that kind of like, because it's affecting every kind of job now.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Mark. But
well, we used to laugh at somebody being a social media manager 12 years ago, like, oh, you just sit on Facebook. Now it's like, yeah, like I've said it before. Now you're one of the most important parts of a business.
Yeah, and everyone has it. They're like HR departments.
Yeah,
they're
just in everything. Yeah,
but we're talking about the man. So Facebook, I don't know if anybody could have foreseen that it would create a divide in society. That look at human nature is maybe not good. When allowed to act anonymously, that maybe it's bad. Or maybe that's just what catches everybody's eye and we're not looking at the benefit. We're not looking at the good things because that's not as interesting to read about. Either way, Mark Zuckerberg was, what was he? A smoted college student? He had been smote.
I guess he was. He upset the status quo socially. Would be the thing.
Yeah. So you could say. I mean, okay. Charlene's research. 2004 legal bailout. Oh, the Winklevosses. Remember them? Thinking he stole their stuff. The twins.
I only know them from the movie, but yes.
Yeah. 2004. Youngest self-made billionaire. 23 years old. $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That's Facebook. No, that's like all this stuff is the 87 million Facebook users. Their information was harvested by Cambridge Analytica. That was one of those things I think they tried to make a movie about. And I'm like, ooh, this will be a gripping thriller. Like, man, who gives a fuck? My info, my precious information. Oh, my fucking
Kyle gets pizza rolls.
Yeah,
Kyle gets pizza rolls.
Exactly. What's my favorite Taco Bell order? Oh, I can't believe my data's been breached. I can't believe this thing I used to call Denver Nuggets fans homos is the upset. I'm speaking in character. I don't know anything. I picked a sports team and what a sports guy would say. I don't have anything.
You're doing pretty good.
But that's the thing.
Ironically, so it all still sounds like you, even when you're not talking about shit you don't know anything about.
I know. I realized that was too sounding like it was mean. I was trying to be a character as a troll. His wife's name is Priscilla Chan. That sounds fake. That sounds like when you tell guys you have a girlfriend.
They met in a bathroom. The line to the bathroom.
Yeah, Asians are hot, and Elvis's wife's name was Priscilla. So Priscilla Chan. It's my chick.
Are you still doing my data got breached guy? Are you still doing the my data
She's
got
from Ottawa. You don't know her anyway. The Nuggets suck. Coach Kyle says Nuggets, you're probably gay.
Hey, Coach Kyle. Tell me what you think of maybe the most pencil geek kind of guy made $74 billion.
So, yeah, you know what you could do with $74 billion? You could peel off one at a time, shove them up your ass. Women are objects, except for my wife, Priscilla Chan. She's in Ottawa right now, visiting her family. They're from Asia. Smart people. Not her. She made it through that one kid thing they were having over there. She's like, not me. She's a survivor. That's why I like her. They plan on donating 99% of their net worth to charitable causes over their lifetime. You got to say what? Anything's charity if you just give the money to it.
Well, that's why
Damn, Coach Kyle, calm down.
That's why I put a star there, because if you go to the
really?
bottom, it's basically a way to avoid taxes.
Yeah. Oh, good. I gave $1 billion to my friend. That's charity, and now he lends me some of my $1 billion.
It does seem that's what it is, and they're getting sued for being racist.
And
really?
I do have to let me try and defend. You're a billionaire at 23. You have this thing that now affects almost every person on Earth. When it's leaked documents reveal Zuckerberg had for years ignored internal data and pleas from executives warning that Instagram inflicted significant harms to vulnerable young users' mental health and body image through algorithmically amplified toxic content. I can't imagine what Mark Zuckerberg's inbox looks like to see what memos does he get finally? So I'm not excusing him, but he is okay, you're the head of the corporation, all the shit rolls uphill. But if I see double digits in my inbox for email, I'm like, what's my whole day? My whole day I have to sit here and answer emails, because God knows for every email I answer, I'm gonna have to spend at least an hour and a half looking at old skateboards on eBay. How does he not? That was I tried to do a joke about this last night. I can't. Can you imagine having Neuralink? Can you imagine having the internet in your mind? I need a stage between me and the device that has all the pictures of all the tits. I need a step between me and that. I can't just be walking around why don't we think about tits right now? There they are, and then I'm just hit by a car. How can you manage your life when here's the biggest he's probably busier than the president? Probably. Not saying Biden's in between puddings, God knows what he's getting done. But too much? You let me talk for a while.
No, I think you were on a roll, buddy. I think it's very funny to think of Mark Zuckerberg's his inbox is that the idea of that. You should write that down because it's genuinely funny. But for him to be getting emails from government officials and people about stock prices falling, and then also just to be fuck, I accidentally ordered pizza from this account one time, and now I just get nothing but in the middle of the idea of Mark Zuckerberg getting spam is very, very
these
funny
Old Navy coupons are relentless.
It's I never should have donated to Joe Biden. He emails me and calls me every week.
I told you why I didn't like those jeans. They were too big. Stop asking me how we did. I can't do any more surveys.
Excuse me.
You're all right.
So
I think he might be I mean, Charlie, you're gonna get dragged. Everybody was dragging him for having too much sunscreen on when he was paddleboarding. I'm like, motherfucker is just running a company. I can't believe I'm saying that. Let the man have a little day at the beach. Melanoma free.
They're gonna find a reason to just not like him.
Also, if you can have all that money and the access to the best healthcare, and you're still slathering up with that much copper tone, let that be a lesson for us all.
Well, when they asked him about it, he said it was so that people wouldn't recognize him.
All right. He's probably an idiot in a lot of ways. Somebody could be smart at the one thing and then be an absolute dipshit every other way.
Yeah.
And he might be that.
Yeah.
Let me go out looking let me go surf and look like...
Hey, you know how nobody will notice me if I cover myself in something that looks like cum and then get on a paddleboard?
Let me look like that Japanese animation ghost. Go out on a surfboard.
I like this. From 2009 to 2019, he sets a challenge for himself every year, and then he stopped in 2020. But some of these... are not what I think a billionaire's challenges should be.
Mm-hmm.
He's like he's really all over the place. In 2009, it was wear a tie to work every day.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Which is like, okay, yeah. So a horrible salesman does that too, you know? And then in 2010, he decided to learn Mandarin.
Huh?
That I would like to know.
That's a bit of a jump from wear a tie to work Monday through Friday.
One of the hardest languages.
It is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I would like to know how you can like immersively.
How do we know which language is hard?
I want to know how you could purchase wanting to know a language. That does indicate a. Well, he said he wanted to. Did it say he did it, or that he wanted to?
No, he did. He's fluent. He still speaks it.
Or Priscilla's kind of helping him along.
I was just looking up where she was born, actually.
Redondo
in 2010,
Beach.
Zuckerberg said he wanted to learn Mandarin so he could better communicate with the family of his then girlfriend, now wife, Priscilla Chan, and more importantly, to help Facebook gain a foothold in China. Although Facebook's China efforts has failed more than once since then Zuckerberg provided his aptitude, blah, blah, blah. He learned a language. He became a vegetarian in 2011. He coded every day, which is something he probably should still be doing.
Coded? Like he died? I try to die once a day. I try to flatline. I try to see the other side once a day.
He writes a thank you note each day in 2000.
What, to himself?
Does he stop doing?
Yeah, he doesn't do it after the year's over.
Konnichiwa, Mark. Or whatever thank you is in Mandarin. I have offended everybody in this episode.
You're getting up there, man. This is our last episode. He visited every U.S. state. Some of this is pretty good, but it's also kind of like
visited every.
He also stopped in 2020. Oh, hey, in 2018, he really shot for the stars with Fix Facebook.
Oh my God. Is that a whiteboard over his IKEA desk?
Yeah, I don't think he did that.
Get milk and cheese and coffee. Also fix Facebook.
To be fair, the reason why he stopped is to spend more time with his kids.
Ugh. Wonder if they're happy about that. Some of the stuff, he's got a pet goat. That's a bonus. He named it Bitcoin. Boo. But goats, pretty cool.
That's like what is like they think is funny. Like Billionaire. Remember when Elon Musk started his first rocket launch?
Oh, sorry.
He started his first rocket launch, and they shot a Tesla into space.
Yeah,
like it's just it's still like it's bullshit. Yeah, like it's not. It's a horrible joke.
Yeah, but
my friend
goats are nice.
is a writer on SNL when Elon Musk hosted, and they said everything he suggested was so filthy that they could not. There's no way they'd be able to get it on TV.
Well, I mean, any 30-second clip of him talking is proof that he is the least. That guy could just be the richest dork, and instead he has to keep talking and trying to also be cool, and it's but it would not. It
lets you know, like famous businessmen. There were really rarely that many famous ones. Now all of them want to be famous too. That's kind of like what social media has done to me. Like, I think, like the Rockefellers and the Carnegies and a couple of other people, like massive industrialists.
Carnegies.
Or whatever. But but now it's like, why the fuck do I need to know who Matt Ishbia is? And he's the guy who owns the Phoenix Sun. Mark Cuban could have just been a rich guy who owned them and had owned the Mavericks. And all of these people, they all are obsessed with branding themselves as the number one billionaire too. It's very weird.
Well, I mean, if you want to argue that money can't buy happiness, these people still want to be famous. They don't want to be billionaires and be quiet about it. Or are we not letting them be quiet about it? Because all right, you have amassed enough money to solve the world's problems and you're not doing it. So we're going to we're going to set eyes on you and see what you're up to because you're doing a lot of stuff with a lot of money that affects how we all live. So I mean, I think in some sense they deserve the scrutiny. In another sense, I think some of them want it. I think Zuckerberg just seems like a weird nerd. Mm-hmm. He's like, there's a thing where he's throwing spears. He likes to surf.
Yeah.
He's got a goat. I think some of these things I'm pretty
some cool stuff. He does some cool stuff.
Yeah. Zuckerberg just wears the same shit, but also you have nobody around you telling you no anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what
or ever.
There's two things that do that.
Early, yeah.
Yeah.
There are two things that do that, and it's money and fame.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like there's nothing else that like makes people say yes to you all the time, no matter what. And they're like two of the most unnatural things. Fame is like the most unnatural shit in the world. To have people just cater to you all the time. It's like the whole world knows you're an only child and they're all your parents and they're just giving you what you want.
I do like this thing when he got called for having just hoodies and stuff in his closet. He said he says he doesn't want to waste mental energy thinking about clothing. I really want to clear my life so that I have to make as few decisions as possible other than the best. Like, okay, that's like Steve Jobs. Like, I kind of like somebody that is like, I can't be fucking with different shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Respect on that.
Yeah.
Respect on that point. Like, of all the things I got to make decisions about, it's not going to be pants and tops.
Yeah, I changed 3 times before I got on stage yesterday.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give a point. Okay, Zuckerberg, you aren't fucking around with
my
fashion.
plan is to get $1 billion.
Spears.
My plan is to get $1 billion, and then I won't have to think about what I'll wear anymore. It's gonna be good. I got it figured out.
Goals.
Yeah, his closet. Yeah, his closet's not bad. The spear throwing thing is weird.
He makes videos about smoked meats. I mean, he is trying to have his hot. He's got the giant bunker in Hawaii, which this stuff fascinates me. What billionaires think they're going to do to survive.
Mm-hmm.
First off, I don't know if it's catastrophic, like, let's go. I think that David Twitty has a joke already. He's like, I don't know what these like. Somebody's like, he's like, I'm barely hanging on right now.
Yeah,
just takes one more late in the season winter storm to make it like butchering his joke. But like these like,
but it's also there's also like it kind of if you think about it, when something catastrophic happens, it will even the playing field for a lot of us.
Well,
like it'll kind of
was I talking about this before? Douglas Rushkoff.
I don't think
he has a book called Survival of the Richest: Escape Fantasies of Tech Billionaires. I need to read this book. I haven't read it yet. I've listened to interviews with him. They sat him down because he's a futurist, and to be like, what should we do? And he thought he was going to be meeting with billionaires of like, how can we prevent catastrophic things? How can we use our wealth and influence to have like steer away? And they were just like, should we lock up the food so the security that we hire can't access the food in case this? Should there be like explosive collars on it? And he's like, what? That's not what you guys should be focusing on. But yeah, it's all about how will they survive because they still have to have security. So islands are one thing, but then your resources are limited on islands.
And you're very prone to weather.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you got a $260 billion bunker, I think you might be all right. But you're going to be eating Bitcoin soon enough.
It also seems...
In terms of resources, I mean, like, if you're growing food.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
island,
sure.
Yeah.
Reading into the bunker, it also seems like he tricked a bunch of native people to give away their land.
They are unhappy about it. Yeah.
And it's like some sort of spiritual land.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's always spiritual land.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Kyle. That's a Coach Kyle.
It's always got a bunch of hocus pocus attached to it when it's nice real estate.
It's a good movie. Kathy Najimy, Sandra Bullock.
But he set up like all these shell companies to like convince them to sell their like it seemed really shady. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you can get anything in Hawaii without being shady. Try to maintain it being very protected and
right.
How much of it was taken from
right
the indigenous people there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, home to about this guy.
Yeah, he's good.
It doesn't feel right. Yeah.
I got to read more about it, but it doesn't look good.
I mean,
that's what I'm going to say.
But he does throw spears, so.
But if it's a
that's very
bunker, it's
odd.
just underneath everything. What if he's like, do what you want up top? I'm digging down.
But he didn't. He built like 2 mansions up top, I think. I don't know who the second mansion's for.
Probably his robot wars.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, should we just go to the litter box?
Sure.
This is making me sad.
This is, I mean, I found a couple guys. I like that he's got a goat and he surfs.
Yeah, I like and he's like cage fights now too, which is weird.
And he wants to beat up
But I
Elon
like that.
Musk. When I'll watch a couple of rich nerds fight each other.
I wouldn't.
No?
Ugh. No, I want to. They're gonna be bad at it too. I know he's like training. He trains and like he was in like a cage corner where they walked the guy to the ring, like the entourage or whatever. But
I don't care. I'm reading this part about because since Zuckerberg had to get like a bunker architect to build the bunker, and so everybody's like, now everybody wants like that. He started a feeding frenzy on bunkers because it's like, oh, if the richest guy thinks he needs this.
well, also, can you imagine? I'm in a bar. Charlene, you're a lady I'm talking to. Say, what do you do?
What do you do?
I'm an architect.
Oh, really?
And
What
then you
kind of
ask-
architect?
Mostly bunkers. Like-
Oh, so you
Now
believe
I'm
in zombies.
yeah.
now
Yeah,
I'm sitting on
yeah.
your other side. Ask me what I do.
Well, hey, what do you do?
I'm a dubstep DJ. You want to go
Let's
home
go
with me?
home.
Those guys always get all the chicks. Hey, Joe, I'll have another underground swear party, please.
Hey, finger sipples. I got a new mix dropping at the spot. You want to come listen to it?
I don't want to intrude, but my underground bunker might be a great place for a dubstep party.
It's like it's reached like Tracy Jordan levels of ridiculous. Like, where am I
Yes,
going to
yeah.
keep? How much will I have to feed my drum line in my underground bunker?
Yeah. What about my shark?
Yeah.
Boy.
Of course, I got a yacht. I got a yacht, a Batmobile, and the AIDS monkey's bones.
Oh my gosh.
It's monkeys.
That's one of my favorite 30 Rock quotes. All right, everyone. Should we go to the litter box? We must have some kitty cats.
Yeah, we have a
today.
few.
Good. All right, everybody. We'll be right back. And this is No Accounting for Taste with Kanane Shane and the Shardog. Shout out to Buster. All right, we're back, and Charlene is playing us a video that says Mark Zuckerberg AI personal assistant Jarvis home automation.
Yeah, so he's introducing Jarvis, but it's just strange. Hold on.
Mark, it's Saturday, so you only have 5 meetings. Room temperature is set to a cool 68 degrees.
Earlier this year, I started building a simple AI to help run our
This
home.
fucking
I talked to
creep.
Jarvis using this app I built. It uses artificial intelligence to understand me and figure out what to do.
Max woke up a few minutes ago. I'm entertaining her.
All right, let's go check on her.
Good morning, Max.
It's
Let's
weird,
practice our-
right?
Jarvis, your Mandarin is so soothing.
Shishi.
Jarvis also helps me get ready in the morning. Fresh shirt.
Fire in the hole.
Hell yeah. Jarvis knows when to make me breakfast.
Your toast is ready.
All right. It's time for my call with Shrek.
Bitch, who put the bread in it?
Setting up the VC room now. Remember to check on
No
the AI
jelly,
guidance
no
system.
butter.
Tequila.
One of the best things about Jarvis.
Oh, that guy
Dry
is
toast.
dry toast.
Bread's just been sitting out all night too.
Just so weird, right?
Also, hold on.
Yeah.
Is Jarvis's voice Morgan
Yep.
Freeman?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the one thing that I think he made a good choice in.
Your Mandarin is so sweet.
So weird, right?
I don't know. That's a little more unsettling than the bunker. It's making my legs shake.
I'm still occupied with the bunker.
Can we let's go into the cause because this is freaking me the fuck out.
Okay.
It's a lot, yeah.
Well, here's the first one.
Hey y'all, Anthony in Oklahoma here. Mark Zuckerberg. That is 100% a lizard man in a human skin suit. I don't know when he replaced him, but that's what it is. I guarantee you, every night he goes into a private room in his mansion, unhinges his jaw, and swallows a guinea pig whole. That's fact. Oklahoma out.
I can't argue with him that much.
Yeah, he's called in before. I think
he's really suspect, man. I can't.
There's a lot that is a lot. Like this one seems harmless. You know, like he does have that thing, like the sunscreen thing. Well, it was kind of a dumb idea to not be noticed. Yeah. Well, a dumb way to try to not be noticed. Doesn't deserve that much grief over it. You know, not near as much shit as it gets.
It's better than Kanye's approach to not get noticed of wearing just a whole bodysuit weird thing, you know?
It's silly to think this way, but if I was super famous and had to go out in public, I think just being completely covered, like take all the pictures you want. I understand that, but also Kanye West is mentally ill.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg is a twitchy weirdo that hasn't had to deal with the real world in most of his adult life.
Right. And you could also argue that it's likely he falls somewhere on the spectrum. And so how much of it can you really blame him for? Because it's just
a lot.
Autism.
Still a lot.
Well, isn't that? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We all have our crosses to bear. You know, like we all do. And I'm not saying it doesn't create a deficit for him in some way that he doesn't have to deal with. He still
has a t-shirt cannon in his closet.
Yeah, he still has, but he also still has every resource possible.
But nobody goes over the fact that, oh, look at all these perfect things. Nobody thinks about in the beginning of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, he still has to set up all that shit for his breakfast to be made that way.
Right.
Like I unfortunately, I'm burdened with looking at the technical aspects of whimsy. Pee-wee's got to reset all that shit in the morning.
Yes.
Mark Zuckerberg's all little personal assistant shit. Mm-hmm. So what, his kid just wakes up independently to Morgan Freeman's robot voice? I don't know if we're airing that part that we just saw the video of him and his personal assistant. I think
we can.
It's on YouTube.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it like a joke though? Like it's not.
No, it was.
Real.
That was his release of introducing their AI.
I mean, I think it's supposed to be campy.
Really?
Though it's definitely supposed to be like a little winking at the camera.
Some of it
I just don't
is.
think he nails it.
But
I just don't think he nails it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Stop.
Jarvis, your Mandarin is so soothing.
It's like you're not normal. Embrace it.
Yeah.
Throw spears, surf with too much sunblock on. Don't talk first person to a camera and act like, oh, this is normal for us.
Right.
It's like when the boss comes into the break room like, hey, what's up, gang? Did we all have a nice weekend? You're like, fuck off, narc. Like that, you don't want any. Just play your role. Stay in your
Like there's always
stay in your wide diamond encrusted lane, Zuckerberg.
Bunker, but yeah.
Realize no matter how good and cool a boss you are,
you're still the boss.
You still have a boss, and you're still on top, and you're always gonna have people who work a little bit at a deficit of you and will resent you for it because they're human.
Of course,
it's fine. It doesn't mean you're the worst person in the world. You just can't fix it all.
It means you're close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know where this bunker
next
is.
kitty cat.
Caller, here we are.
Hey, it's kitty cat Cody, not Soup Cody. I gotta talk quiet about Zuckerberg because he's listening. And say what you will about the guy being good or evil or destroying, the fabric of society with Facebook. But the main thing you gotta remember is he's a huge fucking dork. Meow meow.
What? He's got a pipe on him?
He's a dork.
He is a huge dork.
Oh, I thought he said I thought he said he's got a huge dork.
Oh. No. Maybe. I
don't
know.
You think
That's why he wears those loose shorts every day.
Yeah, I don't get it. Give some
I
breathing room for his snake dick.
Wow.
He got a big old snake dick
I
on.
didn't think this would come up in this episode.
We got a big old snake dick to do snake dick
Oh
things.
my goodness. Okay.
Snake pecker.
Here's the last message before we get into soup.
Hi,
It ain't no gun snake.
Kyle, Shane, and Charlene. This is Johnny in New Jersey. I'm calling
Hey,
to
what's up,
comment
Johnny?
about Mark Zuckerberg. He sold all our information, made billions off of it. I think he's so goddamn rich now, he doesn't understand what it's like to be a normal person.
Yes.
But I don't know, I just comes with it.
Okay.
That's just it.
Well, I think that's what we were talking about from the get-go. He's priced himself out of normal human interaction. You are no longer you've made too much money, and you are not a part of regular society anymore. That's happened. I don't even think it takes that much money.
No.
I
mean,
think
you see it happen to comedians too, where you're like, your comedy doesn't make sense to the rest of us anymore.
Yeah.
Well, even just like when you see your friends start to become successful and have a little bit of money and people cater to them, like, even though you know them and you love them and in their soul they're good, you're like, you are changing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it must be, I mean, he's got how many advisors and how many boards is he on? Again, the inbox thing.
Yeah.
Like where, at what point without relinquishing control are you just like, I don't know why you would just be like, sell it here. Like, I can't begin to understand the finances of like, well, you own this much, but now you owe this much. And like, just the level that a regular person's at, like, well, I got to pay my phone bill and I got to pay my car note and I got this. So I can't sell. I'm not liquid right now. I'm not really liquid right now.
That's $1,100. I make $1,500 a week.
Yeah.
So that means I should have $400 if I do this right.
But like, does he think he's still operating in some altruistic, good for the world sense? Or does he feel a responsibility to try and, I'm really trying to understand, like, if this thing gets away from like, it's got its faults, but he's like, oh shit, if I sell it to somebody, they'll make it worse. So I have to hang on to this.
I mean, there's probably,
I
wouldn't say he doesn't think about that to some degree, like he must to some degree. And also there's a thing about vanity and just owning something you created, like, money is not enough for these people anymore. Like, it's not the thing, like being the richest is not what's most important to them. I think it's like having things that other people don't have. Like, and I was listening to this interview with a sports columnist, and he was saying like things that are really valuable to like American billionaires and some other billionaires are like sports franchises because there's only so many of them. Like you can't. So like if you like. One of the things that makes the guy who owns the Golden State Warriors so popular, I can't remember his fucking name, is that he is in the tech capital of the world and he owns the coolest basketball team. And so he's like the guy in that place on a lot of different levels. So, and other people can't get, like, and he may not be near as rich as like, say, Warren Buffett or Zuckerberg.
But he has a lot more leverage.
Yeah, and he has a lot of, like, he has something they will never have. Like that kind of thing. So at the end of the day, rarity is like still, and scarcity is still like a more valuable thing than how much money they have.
Okay. Good point.
Yeah.
Well,
these fucking guys.
I know. But everyone, that was a little bit of that's some of your vegetables.
I found this.
But you know what goes better with vegetables?
That?
You puree it up, start a nice little stock.
Right.
Just say soup.
And you might have yourself a stew going. That's my man. Carl Weathers, R.I.P. Arrested Development.
Oh my God. Before we play Cody, somebody called in about Cody, and I think it's kind of sweet, so I'm going to play that one.
Okay.
Hey, gang. This is Devin from Boston calling. every week, my girlfriend and I make soup. Soup night is a tradition that's been going on for the past 3 or so years since we started dating.
Nice.
And I've been slowly incorporating Cody's soups into our weekly recommendations. So shout out Cody. Maybe make a segment about Cody's soups being made. Anyways, love you all so much. Really appreciate the show. And once again, for the millionth time, pitching the topic of outdoor recreation.
It's this guy.
I understand that Kyle is super into it. I know that Kyle and Shane have both traveled all around the country, and they've probably seen some real cool stuff. A lot of good stuff out there, a lot of bad stuff around the cultures. Yum yum.
Hell yeah, brother. I don't know who's arguing against it. I don't know if that's a maligned topic. But
yeah, maybe it is. I wouldn't call it malign, but some people definitely don't fucking want to do
oh,
that
so it's
stuff.
not for everybody.
Yeah.
I do.
So maybe that's the way we could do it.
Yeah, well, I'll save for the topic. I have been like trying to like camp, and then tweakers show up with side by sides and be like, "Well, we just got here and it's 3 a.m. We better make sure our 4-wheelers work in the campsite." Like that part sucks. But before we get to Cody, I think we did a little bit of digging to try and understand Zuckerberg and adding a little compassion to a weird billionaire that has no people skills. You know.
We showed a little bit. Like, I do think it's like the one thing I will say for them. Like, we didn't nail it. We didn't get it. Like, we didn't shed him completely in a perfect light. But I will say this, and I think sincerely, that guy encounters issues every day that we can't fathom for people not like. You know, like I have people comment on a video about how I'm a fucking idiot, and it tails with. So, like, for people to be like, "Well, you're taking, you know, all the copper out of a Ukrainian mine without even knowing it." Like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. It just seemed like a good idea.
Stuff
like,
slips through the cracks every day. If I got 3 things to do, I'm going to fuck up 2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
if he's been negligent, if he's been negligent on some stuff or avoiding it, that's one thing, because that's him just
98 million people's data being breached. Oopsie. Shit happens.
That one, I'm kind of like, you got to eat the fucking... Yeah, you got to eat the spoon on that.
Oh, you native Hawaiians also wanted to live on all this acreage that I just bought? I should have asked. I didn't ask. I just...
But that being said, he does fuck up or chooses to act in his own self-interest a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's like they got a real got to break some eggs to make the omelet kind of attitude, these billionaires.
Yeah. Yes, they do. Well, I could use a couple dozen eggs for some build. I got nothing. I tried to get a riff out and I couldn't even do it. I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Go to Cody.
Okay, here we go.
Go to Cody.
Boys. After my culinary travels to the Eastern Europe, I went and got borscht, which I think it's Russian, but it was a German deli, and the reason I got it was because I went there for the goulash, which I don't know where that's from, but it was spicy and it was tender beef. And it had this, like, spicy, delicious, kind of beefy gravy on it. But it wasn't soup. And I was under the impression that goulash was soup. But it was really good. I'll give you that. It was delicious. But that's not what we're here for.
It's Ukrainian, by the way.
The borscht, however, I Googled that, and it said that it was served cold. I got it hot. I got to say I prefer that more. The tomato base, it's got tender beef in it, carrots and celery, your regular kind of fare for soups. Heavy on the paprika, real heavy, but I don't mind it. Very smoky flavor, I like it a lot. Tastes like a campfire, but ooh, it's delicious. I gotta say, Siegfried's Deli, downtown Salt Lake City, very much worth the jaunt downtown.
I thought he legitimately went to Europe.
They give you a free piece of bread. It's good. The eclairs are great too. Also, KyleKinane.com, ShaneIsAComedian.com. Somebody on socials said, I'm pretty sure that Cody is actually Will Forte. And I gotta say, you guys fucking nailed it. It's me, Will Forte. There I was, standing on stage with Bruce Dern, accepting the award for Nebraska. And I thought, you know what I need? I need more back pain from construction work and a big old bowl of soup. So I am Will Forte, and I want to say you won the contest. We're going to send you a gallon of my favorite soup. You totally nailed the guest. All right, peace.
Oh,
Cody.
We got a 2-for-1. We got goulash and borscht. I thought borscht was like a cold beet thing. I didn't know it.
I didn't know it as a beet.
Yeah. So we learned something. Cody, thank you. You taught us that borscht is a little different.
You know what? I'm going to say this. I had borscht this week.
You did?
Yeah.
I went to Veselka. It's just like a Ukrainian diner in the East Village.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Great place.
Yeah.
Kyle will go next time you're in town. You're going to love it.
Okay.
Got good pierogies.
Okay, yeah.
Good. And they got a nice goulash. That's why I know it's Ukrainian. I don't know if goulash is Ukrainian, but there's a Ukrainian version.
My mom
and they got
yeah.
Ukrainian flags and Zelensky pictures up everywhere in that motherfucker. Yeah.
My mom used to make
borscht?
goulash. Yeah, how was the borscht?
What? It was good. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I've had it.
You got borscht. You got borscht and goulash.
I did not get goulash this week.
You've had it before. Okay.
Yeah. I've been there a few times. I love it. But also, just as a Cody, if you want to come get some borscht sometime in the city, we'll go do it there. And they, as a treat at the end, they have a Ukrainian honey cake, and that's not a prostitute. Like, that's a real cake. And it's really good.
That's an OnlyFans handle.
I'm your little Ukrainian honey cake.
My mom used to make goulash, and I'm going to describe this, and it won't be appetizing, but it was delicious.
This is like Charlene's mom's. What did she call it? American chow mein?
Yeah, I think we got that version, and I remember it being good, but it was just beef stew with water chestnuts in it. Was the chop suey. The goulash, I think, to what I could tell, was like sloppy Joe mix with a can of whatever that like peas, corns, and carrots vegetable mix is.
Yeah,
and that was it.
Oh, that was Simon.
Ruled. It was so good.
That was Simon Elizondo Torres Jr.'s. He made us goulash too, and it was just like hamburger helper with egg noodles.
Yeah, and it kind of just was like a whatever. It was just like a hodgepodge that was called it goulash because then it sounded better than we're having hodgepodge tonight.
It looks like American chop suey, to be honest.
I love a sloppy Joe.
Me too.
Oh. I don't even need who even needs the bun?
Yeah.
I'll eat it out of the pot. I like
that's true. I mean, I do need a bun.
This is not.
I like a sloppy Joe, but with a bun,
I put it
a little a bun is basically on a sloppy Joe, just like it's like a sauce disc.
Yeah,
that you get to
put it on the side. Yeah. What for sopping up?
Yeah, that's why I want it. It doesn't have to be served ladled into the sandwich, but
let me ask this of both of you when you're making food for yourself, like say like a macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
And you just make it with like a big spoon in the bowl.
Right.
Are you in a pot? I mean, are you even moving that to a bowl with a regular spoon?
No.
Awesome.
I tell you, I am, but I'm also definitely eating one portion bowl, one portion.
Yeah,
pot.
that's why you just eat it out of the pot because
I'm going to finish it.
I gotta like ritualize it a little bit, or I'll just keep going. Okay, when I know if I move it over to the other bowl, I'll just be done.
I love having a spoon like this to my face.
Yeah, the big spoon.
Big spoon, like I'm testing my witch's brew.
Right.
Like I want to eat out of. If idealistically, I could eat out of a cauldron.
All right.
Oh, okay. Everybody, this has been No Accounting for Taste. Kyle, can you tell them where they'll find you?
Oh, when is this coming out?
You bought a house. You got to plug your dates now. That's what you said.
I got to pay these bills, baby.
Yeah.
April and April
22nd. Yeah.
15th or 20th. If this comes out on the 15th, I'll be in Raleigh this weekend. If this comes out on the 22nd, it was great to see you in Raleigh. I'll be in Columbus this weekend. Thanks everybody for coming out to Raleigh this weekend. Can't wait to see you in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh boy.
My man. All right, guys. My name is Shane Torres. You can find me coming up at a city near you. I forgot I accidentally signed out of my Google account. I got my calendar right here. Coming up, thanks to everybody who came out to Moon Tower to support me at my headlining show there and the San Francisco Punchline. So thank you for coming to all those shows. Everybody who came to see me in Milwaukee. I will be in Grand Rapids, Michigan at the end of May. And I will be with Bert Kreischer the 16th through the 18th, doing a bunch of dates through Texas and Oklahoma. So you can catch me there. And I'm sure I got more stuff coming up. But it finally looks like old Shane is going to be home for more than one day a month.
Let's make a soup.
Let's make a soup.
Oh, I promise. I'm gonna make a soup. I'm gonna make a tribute
to
Shane.
To Shane.
A crock pot.
I didn't know if she went by Ms. Torres or if she took a maiden name after the divorce.
She went back.
What was
after my folks divorced? She changed her name
back
to
what?
Too. What's what?
You're just like my mom.
Charlene has a sordid history.
Yes. Yeah, she went back to Fitzgibbon.
Okay, Miss Fitzgibbons. What kind of soup can I make? Yeah.
Oh, like something with
a potato leek, perhaps. I think that was one of Cody's.
Some kind of Irish stew, yeah, something like that.
I'm gonna do Irish. I made tortilla soup last time, which is
Guinness stew.
Guinness stew. I could probably put.
Yeah.
I'm gonna report.
I'll tell you what you do. If you make a soup, my mom made great soda bread. So you can bake a soda bread.
Oh man, now we're jumping.
Yeah, and soda bread is soda bread is a great soup bread though. It's an amazing,
it's dense.
hearty and rustic.
Yeah.
Did you make it with caraway seeds or without caraway seeds?
Ooh.
Most of the time she did without, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she would also do like a regular soda bread and then a kind of sweeter one with like currants and stuff.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
You got the recipe?
I'm gonna do some.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna do some soup shopping today. And
I'll do some soup shopping.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I'll report back.
All right.
All right, everyone. Let's we're gonna close it out here. We can't thank you guys enough for listening. Please like and subscribe to the podcast. Hey, you see the clips? They're online. It's free. Share it with your friends. Maybe not this episbut on Instagram because Zuckerberg owns that.
It'll be taken down. It'll be taken down.
It'll be taken. Yeah, so we don't need that.
We're really on the radar.
But yeah, we love you guys very, very much for listening, and we can't thank Cody enough for calling in. Everybody who called in, we appreciate you a great deal. For Kyle the Big Spoon Canane and Charlene the Bowl of Borscht Connolly, and I'm your little Ukrainian honey cake Shane. Everybody, we'll see you next week on No Accounting for Taste. Maybe next time we'll have a sponsor.
Nope.